What's up, gang? How you guys doing today, man? We are rocking out here today. Gonna do another book review today, and we are going to talk about a book maybe many of you have not read, right? And it is called The Happiness Hypothesis by Jonathan Haidt. Check it out. Um, Google it. All right. Um, Pull it up in your Audible, read it, listen to it, check it out. Good book, right? This will be the second time I am reading this book. I added it to my list of books to read every year. Around 2017, around October 2017, I think was the first time I read this book. And it's a good book. It's a good book. It's by a professor named Jonathan Haidt. He is a professor at the University of Virginia. Yes, I'm gonna tone this down, take my music down a little bit. But I just want you guys to groove on out with me because I'm happy. I'm happy. A lot of people ask me, Darryl, why are you happy all the time? Every time I see you, you have a smile on your face. You are giving words of encouragement, enthusiasm, and it's my philosophy. My philosophy is what makes me happy. And so I figured, guess what? Let me find something that I can share with people because we're all different, you know. But in this book, Happiness Hypothesis, I've seen how Jonathan Haidt has broken it down to 10 simple, ancient, great ideas that you guys can use to ensure that you have a happy life moving forward. You know, a lot of things are going on these days, man. The pandemic is upon us. The coronavirus has grown in amount and it has taken out thousands, thousands, especially here in the U.S., man. In the U.S., it's peaking again. So it's a little crazy, but I want you guys to not go into panic mode. I want you guys to understand that life is going to happen and it's going to move forward, and you can't stop that. So you have to learn how to work within your span of control. So let's get into this book. I'm going to talk about the intro. Once again, I'm going to show you guys the book so you guys can check it out. It is Happiness Hypothesis by Jonathan Haidt. And like I said before, he's a professor, a psychology professor. Let's clear that up at the University of Virginia, right? And he begins this book, the introduction, all right, with a few questions that all of us should be asking on a regular basis, right? The first question is, what should I do in life? What should I do, right? Because we all want to be happy. What should I do in life? Because what you do in life will affect your happiness. The next thing is, how should I live? Right? What is your philosophy on life of how you are living? Right? How should you live? Right? And the last one is, whom should I become? Listen, guys, I'm gonna tell you something, right? When I do my lessons here for you, I'm not just a talking head, right? I'm here to teach you a lesson. So let's pull up the whiteboard. Let's pull up the whiteboard, guys. You know I love my whiteboard, right? And so I am going to write down, right, these few things I think is very important, right? I think it's very important to write down these three questions. Okay, as a matter of fact, as opposed to this, I'm going to put them in a note. How about we put them in a note, right? Now, the first question is, what should I do? These are life questions. The second question is, how should I live? And the third question is, whom should I become? You know, um, that is a question many people really don't ask themselves in life. And it causes so many problems when you never ask yourself, whom should you become? A lot of people become who they are by default, and you never ever want to become someone by default. That is a scary, scary instance that can really, truly make sure that you have a very, very bad life. So I'm moving that right here, right next to my beautiful face here, guys, so you guys can see me as I talk about the book Happiness Hypothesis. All right. Um, all right, so what should I do? How should I live? And whom should I become? That is powerful. All right. And so important note, right? Um, Professor Haidt, right? Although he goes on to point out, right, um, these questions, he also says there's actually tons of information available to give you the answer to these questions. But the problem with that is it's too much wisdom available, right? It's wisdom available from all sorts of life, right? In this day and age, in the Google age, right? We are pulling information that is from all over the world, all reaches of the world. You can get any type of information that you want to learn anything that you want. Therein lies the problem, as he talks about. So, because of this infinite amount of information, we are faced with a paradox of abundance, right? Abundance. That is a paradox, guys. Can you believe it? The paradox of abundance is there's so much information. How do we filter through the information, right? What do we do? What is our default when there's so much information for us available that we truly don't know what information is most relevant to us? That is a powerful, powerful thing that Jonathan Haidt goes on to talk about. He states, right, a strong fact, which is known to be true, quantity undermines the quality of our engagement, right? If you are given tons and tons and tons of information, you are not as engaging with that information, right? You are not deeply focused on the philosophy or the thought behind that information. I think about it when people give like just a simple quote, right? It's just a lot of ancient wisdom. It's just one quote, and they tell you to think and meditate on that one quote until you truly gather the meaning. Right? But we don't do that these days. We run through information, lots of information, right? And we try to get as much information as possible from so many different sources that we tend to taint the truth and what we're really looking for. And I think that's what Professor Haidt is talking about. Now, as he goes on, right, to talk about how it 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 undermines our quality of engagement. It also causes us to skim through books, right, and material just in order to get as much information as possible, as I talked about before. So instead, right, what Professor Haidt did in his book Happiness Hypothesis, as I talked about before, is he said instead of overwhelming us with a multitude of ideas, right, he gives us 10 great ideas so that we can savor like a good glass of wine, right? Like a good glass of wine here. I know it's not a wine glass, right? My wine glass is actually right here. uh, but anyway, um, so we can savor like a good uh, vintage wine or a nice steak, beautiful lobster meal. Savor that information. So he gives us 10 great ideas, right? And those 10 great ideas are so that we can go through them one at a time, like strong philosophies, in order to gain the information that we need to gain truly to become happy. I have a gnat flying in front of my face, guys, so forgive me. So I'm not reaching out in the atmosphere. I'm just trying to blow a gnat away. All right. But anyway, as we go forward, let's get into this a little bit more, right? Um, he says, I will only go through each of those ideas and breaking them down to help you achieve the happiness that everyone deserves. Now, guys, everyone deserves happiness, obviously, right? And each of those ideas, he's going to break it down. I'm going to break down the chapters further than he has broken them down to you in my review of the book that I read each and every year to my list of 150 books that I read a year. So I'm going to break that down to you so that you guys can see that this book can truly bring you happiness if you apply the principles that Jonathan Haidt is talking about. Now, Professor Haidt is his specialty, right? And this is why I like him so much. His specialty is in morality and the moral emotion. So obviously his book is geared toward this type of philosophy. Now, he goes on to give a powerful quote by Shakespeare. And as a matter of fact, I'm going to go ahead and write that quote down so you guys can go ahead and screenshot that quote because that quote is going to be something that you guys are going to build on as you go through this book, right? And the quote is, there's nothing either good or bad, excuse me, but thinking makes it so. And that is by Shakespeare. Right now, in this quote, as Shakespeare talks about, that there's nothing either good or bad, but thinking makes it go. We are controlled by our thoughts, right? Our thoughts give us our perspective on life, right? What we think life is, and how we go about judging each and every situation that we deal with in life, right? Each and every day. It is our thoughts. When someone says something to us, how we think about what they said to us is how we will move forward in dealing with that person. And this, right, thought process is what can help us reach happiness or bring us toward despair. All right. So we'll talk about that in a much deeper as Jonathan Haidt goes so much further into this book. Right. Now he says our emotions and our reactions to events in our life are caused by our mental filters. How we filter things in our life will determine how our life turns out. That's right. Our mental filters is what causes us to have the life that we have. Nothing else, right? As Shakespeare said, nothing's good and nothing's bad. It's just our thoughts that make it so. So the goal of this book is to help people find happiness and meaning, guys. Happiness and meaning is what we're trying to find here as we go through this book. Now, once we move on to the next chapter, right? Now, this is just the introduction that I'm talking about right now. So we're going to get deep into the philosophy of Jonathan Haidt and his 10 great ideas and what he's talking about. So I'm going to break each idea down to you, okay? But once we get into the next chapter, you'll all see the 10 ancient, right? Ancient ideas that Professor Haidt has discovered in his many, many years of research and many different civilizations where he found that people were truly happy at the deepest level of happiness. And he's going to bring those ancient ideas forward to you in this book for you guys to learn the best that you can and to have the best life that you can. and to walk around with a permanent smile like me on my face, no matter what I'm going through. I'm usually 99.9% happy each and every day that I wake up, regardless of what I'm going through. It's just, it's my default, right? So you guys are going to work on that as well. Okay. He will first bring you up to speed, right? And he'll be letting you know how the mind works, right? In order to know the process of what you need to do to have a better life, you need to know how your mind is operating, right? What is going on in my mind, and why is my mind thinking this, and why is my mind thinking that? Professor Haidt is going to tackle that. He's going to let you know how your mind works, right? Not completely, but he's going to give you a few key concepts to help you to move ahead, right? He's not going to try to overwhelm you with information. He's just going to give you strong things to help you move forward. Okay. The first truth, and he's going to talk about two basic truths. The first truth is that the mind is divided into two parts that sometimes conflict with one another. All right. And just to know that information that I told you right now, without even getting into the book, right, it already lets you know, right, that you may have some issues that you don't even know that you're dealing with, right? A little bit of yin, a little bit of yang, a little mind fighting against your emotions. Who knows, right? But we're going to get into that in the book. I'm going to save that for the book. Get some juicy chapters here, right? Um, and when you say that, it is a reminder from a quote that I have written down right here, guys. It's from Buddha, right? And it says, our life is a creation of our mind, right? Our mind creates our life. So understand that philosophy, right? And Professor Haidt expounds on that and edits it and makes it even better, right? And he says, but this can be explained more today with science, right? With science, because he's working with science, new, right? As to why people have a bias towards seeing threats and engaging useless worry. See, we do that. We do that. We have a default. We are always seeing threats and we are always worrying, which totally and completely slows down our growth, our learning, and our process of becoming the best we can be and becoming happy. And Professor Hyde is going to help you to break through that barrier and grow and learn. So continue on, right? He also says that we are, right, given a way to change this bias by using three, right? Three techniques that he's going to give us. We're going to get into that because it's going to be nice and juicy, right? Um, and we'll get into that much later. Now, the next step that he's talking about in his philosophy, the second step is you need to give an account of our, right, of our lives, right? Two truths, right? One truth is the golden rule. We live by the golden rule, right? You know, the rule of reciprocity. I've talked about that in some of my other talks and how powerful reciprocity is, right? The golden rule, do unto others as others do unto you. That is the golden rule. We as human beings love to live by that golden rule. Now, understand this, guys, as we live by the golden rule, right? We are also, as human beings, right? And don't get offended, guys, we are hypocrites, right? We are by nature natural hypocrites to the golden rule, which makes it difficult for us to live by the golden rule. Now, understand this, right? We don't follow the golden rule faithfully. And why don't we follow the golden rule faithfully? The reason why we don't follow the golden rule faithfully is because of this quote right here, right? And I'll talk about it. Give you guys one more quote and lay it out to you, right? We are good at seeing, we are good at seeing the slightest speck in our neighbor's eye. Right? And so bad. Logging on. Wow. Imagine that, guys. Right? Can you imagine? This is us. This is who we are. This is what we do. Right? We are so good at pointing the finger, right, at other people. They did this wrong. They did that wrong. We do this all the time. And all of a sudden, when we are called to the carpet about something that we did wrong, oh, no, 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 I didn't do that. Did you sure did I do that? That's what we do, guys. That's what we do, right? We are good at that. This is what makes us a hypocrite and the golden rule, and makes it so hard to follow the golden rule because we are always seeing the wrong in other people. Now, okay, what we are going to do, right, moving forward, is to learn how to take steps to reduce our self righteousness. Because if you can reduce your self righteousness, right, you will then, as I talked about in one of my other videos, seek first to understand someone else before you are trying to be understood. Okay, so guys, understand that and learn that fact. Okay, it is so much more easy to get along with people when you seek to understand them first. Okay. Now, by this time in the book, right, as you guys are moving along through the book, you will be ready to ask the question, where does happiness come from? Right? I'm going to go ahead and write that down. Right? I'm going to move that over here. Edit it. You'll be ready for this question, guys. When you're ready to ask that question at this point in time in the book, like where does happiness come from? I think that is key, that is important. And it's a question that all of us need to ask because guess what, guys? You deserve to be happy. You deserve to have the life that you want, the life that you desire, the things that you want, that you think you want, that you think are going to make you happy. We're going to be working on this, guys. We're going to be working on this. And this book has, in leaps and bounds, had revelations to me that have changed my philosophy on things that I want and things that I thought that I needed to help me become the happiest that I am. Now, from this point here, guys, there are some things in life, right, worth striving for, right? Some things in life worth striving for, right? One of those things is the bonds, right, we form and a need to form with others, form bonds with others, guys. This is powerful. This is powerful, and it is important, guys, that you understand that, right? It is not things that make us happy. It is the bonds that we form with other people that make us happy. With people of society, with people that we are around, the people that we love that truly make us happy. But I'm not going to go any further into this. I'm going to break it down so much further into the chapter of the book. Guys, I'm just skimming the introduction to give you guys a knowledge of what's going on here, right? Okay, now listen. Happiness comes from within, but Professor Haidt edited this to make it even more relevant to the current science of today, right? People always talk about happiness comes within. Happiness comes within, and happiness comes from without, meaning outside of us. You can also achieve happiness through both together. Synergy. Understand that and listen to that word, right? We need both ancient wisdom and modern science to get the balance right, right? People are always seeking balance. We need both ancient wisdom through the test of time and modern science. Professor Height's bringing those both together in this powerful book, Happiness Hypothesis. And you guys are going to truly, truly enjoy the journey that he's taking you on each and every chapter and the simple steps to take, guys. Right? He gives, he goes on to talk about, right? And Professor Height goes on to talk about, right? Um, the uh, the phrase "what doesn't kill you makes us stronger," right? And he says how this is a dangerous oversimplification of that phrase, right? And I'm gonna write that phrase down because I want you guys to see that phrase and understand that this phrase is very dangerous, right? What doesn't kill us makes us stronger. And there's a big problem with this. And since it's a big problem, I'm going to put it in red, right? Danger, guys, danger. Okay? It's dangerous because here's the deal, right? What doesn't kill us, right, may damage us for life, right? Many things that don't kill us can change you for life. So here's the deal. All right? So what doesn't kill us can damage us for life, guys. Put this in back in black, shrink it down. And that's a fact right there. So you have tons of people running around here who have been through a lot of traumatic events, right? And they're what I call damaged goods. They are mentally messed up, you know, and that life experience, they don't know how to get out of it, guys. I'm here to help you get out of it, right? I'm going to mentor you. I'm going to help you grow. I'm going to give you the books to read. This book right here is a powerful book to change your life and how you feel and how you are going to go about each and every day with a smile, guys. This is what we're going to do around here. We're going to make people happy. All right? That's what we're going to do. We're going to make people happy. That's important. You know, people talk about money and they talk about things and having this type of life and that type of life. People want to be happy. Let's make people happy, guys. All right? Now, positive psychology is working on that, working on making people happy, right? It is beginning to deliver, right? And offering a way to diagnose and develop your strengths and your virtues, which are key to having a happy life, guys. Key to having a happy life. So finally, right? Finally, um, Professor Haidt he is going to discuss why some people find meaning and purpose and fulfillment in life, but others don't. He's going to get into that near the end of the book, guys. It's a juicy book, Happiness Hypothesis. And last but not least, I want you guys to end with this, right? This is going to be a great book to explore, guys. A great book, right? And a journey that so many of us need in this time of a pandemic. We need this, guys. We need to learn how to be happy. We need to grow to be happy. And happiness hypothesis is going to give us some tools so that we can learn and grow and become the best that we can be. So I got my three circles here. How can we fill these three circles with something that we need to do in order to grow just only from this introduction that we're just starting out here? All right. The first thing I need you to do, guys, is to have an open mind, right? If you guys are going to sit here and you're going to learn from me as I talk about some of the books and the philosophies that I am learning here that have helped me grow and helped me smile and helped me to have that good, strong internal happiness about life. It's not like things bad don't happen in my life. Things bad happen in everyone's life. It is how you react to those things that happen and how you respond that makes you have a good life or a bad life, guys. Come on, we're going to work on this. So, first and foremost, have an open mind, guys. The second thing I want you guys to do, right, is to gotta get the book, man. Get the book, Happiness Hypothesis. Listen, and it, I tell you what, delete that here. Let's do that again. Get the book, Happiness Hypothesis, and read it. Read it and put it in your list of books that you should be working on to get better. And that's simple, right? Simple. Get the book, right? This particular book right here, I think I purchased it on Amazon for like 17 bucks or something like that. Um, I also got the Audible version of the book. So get the Audible version of the book if you want. Um, I'm not, I don't get anything from the book. I'm just telling you that what I do get from the book is way more than I would get if I told you to buy the book and I got money from it, right? It's the happiness, right? You can't put a value on that, guys. You cannot put a value on happiness, right? All the money in the world can't buy you a bit of time or a moment of happiness. Remember that as you we go on. So have an open mind, get the book, guys, and follow along. That's it. We're gonna finish that with just follow along because I'm gonna take you on this journey. You guys are gonna grow. You guys are gonna be happy. All right. Let me do that. Bring this over here a little bit. All right. And what was I saying? Follow along. Follow along. Just keep it simple, guys. Keep it simple, right? Some of the simplest things make us the happiest, guys. So understand that. Some of the simplest things in life make us the happiness. But remember before, as I talked about bonds, bonds are key. Bonds will make you a great life, right? Bonds with people. Each and every day when I do my job at work, when I'm not writing and doing videos, Um, I do security work. I'm retired law enforcement, and I tell people all the time, I love people. I love people, and when you love people, um, every single different reaction helps to fulfill your life and make you just feel better about life. And so, guys, as we get into this book and we go deep into the happiness hypothesis, I want you guys to have an open mind. I want you guys to get the book, read along, follow along, right? And let's do this. Let's enjoy it, okay? So that is it for today. Enjoy the book Happiness Hypothesis, and I'll see you on the next chapter, chapter one. All right? I'll talk to you later. Deuces.